What's up, YouTube? It's your boy D, and I'm back with another video. So y'all already see, I'm in the car driving, you feel me? And I'm just having a good day. I'm having a good day today. I woke up with good energy. I took my girl to work. She had good energy, and she was feeling good, so I'm feeling good. And when she feeling good, I'm feeling good. When I'm feeling good, she feeling good. And you got to be in that moment where you just want to live life and just enjoy every moment that you do get. I haven't been living my life to the fullest capacity that I want to be, and today's topic is on vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable to people in your life for you to be able to live the current life that you got to live. But the first person that you have to be vulnerable with is the Lord, God. Without being vulnerable to God, you're not gonna really be able to be open with anybody else, because you put yourself into this trap to not be vulnerable, because you got hurt so many times in life and you don't want to give that openness to be vulnerable with people anymore. You just have to be vulnerable, but also use the discernment to not go to protect your heart as well. You also have to protect yourself while being vulnerable. And I know that sounds so hard, and people be like, dang, how you gonna be vulnerable and do this? You have to be vulnerable, because if you're not vulnerable, you're not gonna be able to open yourself up to certain people, to be able to give that love that you're supposed to give that kindness, that love, that gentleness, because it's always gonna be a little thing that tick you off, or somebody says something slick, it's gonna make you react or respond in the wrong ways. So you have to be vulnerable. Vulnerable is a very key component to how God shows His love, because God be vulnerable. And God showed His vulnerability. He didn't know everything when He was, trying to show us how to love and show us that He didn't have vulnerable moments. He had vulnerable moments in the Bible. Because He even went to God, was this the only way to save these people, or to save us as His children? He was like, that's the only way. So even He was vulnerable with God. He was vulnerable to His own Creator. You know what I'm saying? So if He can do it, that means we have to be vulnerable. We have to be able to be vulnerable, to able to get access to other people, to allow them inside of us, and then we have to be able to be vulnerable and able to receive vulnerability from them. But also, you have your discernment to not give so much and not to overly do, because it's a thing about overly doing and just being in that life. But just if you overly doing, you put yourself in certain things to get yourself hurt. Because, let me give you an example. Let's just say if you ask me for my advice, right? And I give you my advice, but you couldn't take my advice, but you asked for it. So, you wasn't trying to be vulnerable to hear what I had to say about the situation, because you asked my advice and now you feel some type of way. If you wasn't ready to hear the advice, you should never asked me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be as real as possible, and I want to give you the real, in my certain case, because I love you and I just want to be there for you. But if I overstepped and you didn't need that, you just need to, they just say you needed a person to talk to, and you just need me to hear what you had to say. Okay, and then if I didn't hear what you had to say and I tried to give my opinion when you didn't want my opinion in that moment, I'm overstepping. You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't be vulnerable. All you was trying to be vulnerable to me, and I didn't allow you to be vulnerable with me. Make sense? So that's what I mean by being vulnerable in certain areas which you have to be vulnerable in, So everybody has to be vulnerable in some type of time in their life, to where you have to be able to give that love and receive that love. Because if you're not being vulnerable, that means you're not able to receive the love, because you're not being vulnerable to that person. So they'll be able to show you love, and you'll be able to receive the love back, because you got your guard up. And you don't need to have your guard up about everything. You need to let that down. You need to let it down to where you can be amazing and just gentle, kind, nice, caring person, to where you just want to give and you want to receive. And that's all about life, is to give and receive. It's not so much about the receiving part, it's so much about the giving part. God's going to make sure you receive, because if you're doing His works and you're doing everything how He tells you to do it, He's going to bless you in multiple ways that you can't even imagine, because He's just an awesome God like that. He's vulnerable with you, and whatever you tell Him, He just wants you to give you all. He wants you to give you. He wants you to give. wants you to give you all of his burdens. All of your burdens, all of your burdens. So if you give him all of your burdens, he's going to bless you in other ways that you can't even imagine, man. And life is just so abundant because I'm learning to be more vulnerable with myself and to the people around me. Because you also have to be vulnerable with yourself too. And to not sit there and lie to yourself to make you feel some type of way. Oh, yeah, this is that way, this that way. Nah, if you feel some type of way, be vulnerable to yourself and allow yourself to feel that as well. Don't tell them, nah, it's going to be all right. Nah, feel that. It's going to be okay. But give that to God, because God going to handle your burdens and make you feel better. But let yourself be able in that moment to feel. Because if you don't, you're going to hinder yourself from the journey that you do have to allow yourself to go through those emotions. You have to be able to allow yourself to go through emotions. And if you don't allow yourself to go through emotions, you're going to be this big blob of hatred and anger, because or you're going to be this big ticking bomb to always flash on somebody, because you never allowed yourself to go through that emotion and just get it out. You never allowed yourself to just get all of that out and just be yourself. You have to be vulnerable with yourself first. First God, then with yourself, and then come to realization that things that you do feel are real. Because people get to this dilemma like, yeah, I feel like this, but life ain't waiting on nobody, this, that, and the other. Man, life ain't gonna wait on nobody, but if you're not dealing with your stuff, it don't matter. Because you're the only person that gotta do that. You're the only person that can deal with that. And nobody else gonna wait on you, because if you're not dealing with your stuff and, trying to put all your stuff on everybody else, all your traumas onto everybody else, you're never gonna get nowhere in life, man. And I've been doing that for a long time. I've been putting my traumas on why I be getting mad, because I never dealt with my own stuff. I never dealt with my stuff. I never dealt with how I go through my own stuff. Now I put my stuff onto everybody else, and I can't do that. That's not right to me. That means I'm not coming in kind, nice, and gentleness with what I need to do, because I'm getting irritated with what people saying about, oh, they giving me advice, because I ask for advice on certain things, and people care about me, and I'm taking it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So I always start asking, do you want some advice? Or do you just want to vent to me and get it out? You know what I'm saying? When God giving me that thing to talk to him, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to overstep and say, because you might already know what's right. You already might know this and just want to, somebody to talk to, and you get it out. But that's understandable too. But if you know better, do better. Because at the end of the day, nobody not going to be sitting there holding your hand to try to get you to do better. Nobody not going to be sitting there holding your hand to try to talk to people better. God gonna isolate you from a lot of people and teach you, like, all right, you're not doing my work, so I'm gonna just chastise you. And every time he chastises you, can't do nothing about the chastising, because you know better. When you know better, he expects you to do better. Oh, Lord, my bad, y'all. But when you know better, he expects you to do better. And if you're not doing what he tell you to do, he's going to chastise you. He's going to show you better than he can tell you, because at the end of the day, he put you in predicaments to protect you, and he also lets you go through certain things to allow you to see your wrongdoings and see that his ways is the best way. So he teaches us a lot as we go through things to just understand and just be vulnerable. That's really the whole thing. Love, and use that love to be vulnerable, and to also be able to just be kind, catering, and just nice to one another. That's all he wants. That's all he wants to do. He don't want that much from us. He wants to love each other. He wants to cater to each other. And he just wants us to be there with one another. Man, they got all this traffic right now, you feel me? All this traffic. Man. And this don't make no sense. Right now I'm DoorDashing. I don't think I told y'all what I'm doing. I'm DoorDashing. I'm trying to get this order out. Man, let me go. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. You gonna do good for that. So somebody was kind enough to let me go and stuff like that. But back to the conversation. I'm over here DoorDashing and bring somebody the food. They got, I don't know what they got. Some Chinese food, smelling kind of good. You feel me? Smelling kind of good. But I'm finna get out this car and find where I'm at, and then we're gonna come back to this conversation in a second so I can find this apartment. Give me a second. Be right back. So we back and we on to the next apartment. Or on to the next order. I said apartment. On to the next order. But, back to what I was saying. And, you just gotta have that. You just gotta be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a key factor of everything that's going on in life. And if you're not being vulnerable as people, you're not gonna find yourself where you wanna be for real. Oh, Lord, come on, I'm hitting these speed bumps, y'all. Hitting these speed bumps. You know, I'm leaving everything in here raw, cut. I ain't editing nothing. Everything just really raw. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I love raw. I don't like all them edited videos. I like people just keeping their videos strictly how I need to be. You know what I'm saying? If you need to cut it and talk to it, man, I'm talking to y'all. You know, I just want to let y'all be in on what I got going on, how I got it going on. I just want to talk about God. That's what this whole journey is about, man. Adding God to your life. And if God not in the center of your life, man, you need to go find him. And if you know, I found God, and God just been doing a lot of stuff in my life just to build me up as a person, build me up as a man, and just be how he want me to be. I don't want to be nothing else but how he want me to be. That's it. He been doing a lot of things in my life, just showing me a lot of ways about myself that I need to fix. And I'm just on that journey just to try to fix them. And that's all I want. I want better for myself, better for my life. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there, together. And I trust in his process, and I believe in him.